In this video, we are going to show you the perfect itinerary for Salzburg, the Baroque jewel of Austria and the true city of music. One of the questions we get the most is how to build a logical itinerary in a city that many think only serves for a quick tour of a few hours. Many people make the mistake of doing a rushed day trip from Munich, taking a picture at Mozart's house, buying a chocolate, and missing the chance to explore the wonderful palaces, climb the Alpine mountains, and drink rustic beer straight from the monk's barrels. Salzburg requires strategy to take advantage of the city tourist card and to visit the lakes region without falling into the traps of crowded excursions. To see the absolute basics, focusing only on the historic center and the fortress, you need 2 days. But to explore the settings of the movie The Sound of Music, calmly take the cable car to the mountain peak and take an unforgettable trip to the village of Hallstatt. We recommend 5 full days. That is why we have prepared a super complete 5-day itinerary with the best of Salzburg and its surroundings, so you do not waste time. So let us get started. What is the best time to visit Salzburg? The city has a different charm in each season, and the choice completely changes your suitcase. The best time by far is spring and autumn, especially the months of May, June, September, and October. This is when the days are super pleasant, the palace gardens are meticulously in bloom, and you can walk without sweating and without freezing. Summer, in July and August, is the absolute high season because the city hosts the famous Salzburg Festival. The city boils with culture thermometers reach 86 degrees Fahrenheit, but hotels become very expensive, and the cobblestone streets become completely crowded. Winter from December to March is very cold, and snow takes over the Alps. However, if you go in late November or December, Salzburg hosts beautiful and romantic Christmas markets with a constant smell of roasted almonds and mulled wine through the streets, which makes up for any low temperature. And how many days to stay? The number one mistake is treating Salzburg just as a lunch stop. The recommended minimum is 3 full days. The ideal is 5 days to use the city as a base and take day trips through the mountains and lakes of the Salzkammergut region, with the tranquility that vacations demand. Now let us get to the day by day. Day 1. The arrival and the Baroque heart. Arrive at the central train station, which is super modern and receives fast trains from all over Europe. Check in at the hotel and go straight to the Altstadt, the protected historic center. Start by walking along Geertruidegasse Street. It is the most famous commercial street in the country. Look up and admire the store signs, all made of wrought iron in a beautiful medieval style, a rule that even fast food chains must follow. At number 9 on this street is Mozart birthplace. Enter the yellow building and visit the museum to see the small childhood violin of the music genius. Head to the immense cathedral square, the Residenzplatz. Admire the monumental fountain of seahorses and enter the Salzburg Cathedral, which has a giant turquoise dome and an indescribable energy. For dinner, look for the hidden little door called Balkan Grill and eat a Bosna. It is an Austrian hot dog with 2 grilled sausages, crispy bread, lots of onions, and curry. The lines are long, but the flavor is unforgettable and costs very little. Staying in a good region will make your trip much easier. The strategy in Salzburg is to stay close to the river to easily cross the bridges on foot. The first option, and the most charming, is the historic center itself. You sleep surrounded by history, but the hotels are in very old heritage buildings and charge the highest prices. The second option is the new city, the Neustadt, on the right side of the river. It is the smartest choice. It is near the Mirabell Palace, has wider streets, excellent and more modern hotels, and you reach the old center in just a 10-minute walk. The third option is the Maxglan neighborhood. It is a 20-minute walk from the center. It is a super wooded and quiet area full of locals and with great family run-ins. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best region. Staying in the new city near the river, you cannot go wrong. We will leave here, on the screen code and in the video description, the link to this map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and free cancellation. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as an international virtual cell phone chip to have internet on the street, travel insurance with discount, which is mandatory in Europe, tickets for palaces and Mozart concerts, good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry dollars, saving a lot on fees. Save this page in your favorites. Day 2. The Invincible Fortress and the Monk's Beer. In the morning, go to the center and take the glass funicular train that goes up the vertical cliff straight to the Hohensalzburg Fortress. It is the largest fully preserved medieval castle in Central Europe. Take the tour through the sumptuous halls of the Prince Archbishops and climb the main tower to have the most spectacular view of the entire city below, with the river cutting through the landscape. Walk down from the castle on a path through the woods and pass by Nonnberg Abbey, the royal convent, where the real Maria from the movie The Sound of Music lived. In the afternoon, cross the river and visit the Mirabelle Palace Gardens. The landscaping is impressive, full of sculptures and thousands of roses. This is where the famous scene of the Do-Re-Mi song was recorded. At the end of the day, go to the Augustiner Brewery. It is a mandatory cultural experience. It is located inside an old monastery. You choose a large clay mug from the shelves, wash your own mug in a stone sink, and hand it to the staff to fill with rustic beer straight from the wooden barrel. Sit at the large communal tables in the gardens, buy snacks at the wooden stalls inside, and chat with the locals. Day 3. Mysterious waters in the top of the Alps. Take bus 25 in the city center and take a short trip to Hellbrunn Palace. This was the summer palace of an ancient ruler who loved practical jokes. The great attraction is the guided tour of the Trick Fountains Gardens. As you walk and admire the statues, hidden mechanical water jets squirt water at visitors. It is impossible not to laugh, and you will leave a bit wet. Take the same bus 25 and continue to the Untersberg Mountain. There you board a spectacular cable car that takes you to an altitude of almost 6,500 feet in just a few minutes. The view from the top of the snowy mountain is breathtaking, showing the German Alps on one side and the Austrian valleys on the other. Return to the center in the late afternoon, sit at the traditional Café Tomaselli, and order the most famous sweet in the region, the Salzburger Knockerl, a giant soufflé served hot that is shaped like 3 snowy mountains and melts in your mouth. Day 4. The Magic Day. Trip to Hallstatt. Reserve the whole day for the most scenic trip of your life. The destination is the village of Hallstatt. The perfect logistics so you do not spend a fortune on excursions is to take bus 150 from Salzburg to the city of Bad observing the wonderful lakes along the way. From there, take the train to Hallstatt station and then the mandatory small boat to cross the lake to the village. Hallstatt is protected by colossal mountains and the lake looks like a dark mirror. Walk through the streets squeezed between the mountain and the water, seeing the charming flowered wooden houses. Take the vertical inclined train that goes up the mountain from the village to visit the oldest salt mine in the world. The tour inside is super fun. You put on a worker's outfit and slide down the mountain using wooden slides polished by the ancient miners. Enjoy the viewpoint suspended in the void at the top for surreal photos. Make your way back by boat, train, and bus and arrive in Salzburg at night. Day 5. The Lake District and the Gala Dinner. If you want more nature, rent a car for a day, or take the bus again to the lakes region, the Salzkammergut. Stop at the village of St. Gilgen, located on the shores of Lake Wolfgangsee. The water is a perfect crystal blue. Take a boat across the lake to the village of St. Wolfgang. There, the unmissable attraction is the railway called Schafbergbahn. It climbs a steep mountain for almost 40 minutes and leaves you at the peak where you can see more than 5 different alpine lakes at the same time. It is simply unforgettable. Return to Salzburg for your last night and have the perfect farewell. Book a Mozart concert. Dinner at the St. Peter Stiftskulinarium restaurant, which is considered the oldest restaurant in Central Europe. The refined candlelight meal is interspersed with opera singers dressed in period clothing, singing Mozart greatest hits just a few feet from your table. It is the soul of Austria in a single night. An important tip that will save you a lot of time and money is to buy tickets for attractions, tourist passes, and tours well in advance. On the spot, excursions to the salt mines sell out, and concert dinners have no tables available. We will leave in the screen code and in the description the link to the site we always use to buy tickets and tours for the lowest price. It is the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Everything at the lowest price, and you can buy in any currency and guarantee your spot very easily. An important tip is about daily transportation. Buy the Salzburg card as soon as you arrive. It costs a fixed amount and gives you unlimited access to all electric buses in the city plus free entry to the mountain cable car, the castle funicular, the water palace, and all museums. It pays for itself in the first 2 attractions and is one of the best tourist passes in all of Europe. Quick gastronomy tips. The Bosna is the unmissable street food. In taverns and restaurants, the breaded pork cutlet called schnitzel is the perfect choice. For dessert, do not make the mistake of buying the industrial red and gold Mozart ball from the supermarket. Go to the Fürst pastry shop in the historic center and buy the true handmade pistachio marzipan ball, which has silver and blue aluminum foil packaging. The flavor is infinitely better. Mandatory documentation for international tourists and safety. Visa. Most Western citizens do not need a visa for tourist trips of up to 90 days. But pay close attention because Europe will start requiring the electronic travel form soon. Your passport needs to be fully valid. Travel insurance. To enter Austria and the Schengen area, international travel insurance is strictly required by law and must have a minimum coverage of $30,000. Rescues in alpine mountain areas and hospitals charge unreal amounts to foreign tourists without coverage. Immigration often asks for the printed policy upon arrival. We never travel without it, and in the link in the description there is the comparator we use to pay much less. Safety. Salzburg is a city of absolute peace. Violent crimes are practically non-existent. You can walk by the river at night or through the alleys feeling total tranquility. Only in places with a large concentration of tourists and tour guides keep an eye out for opportunistic pickpockets who target forgotten backpacks. And how much does it cost to eat? Salzburg has reasonable prices, slightly more expensive than Berlin, but cheaper than Zurich. A good meat and potatoes dish in an Austrian tavern costs between $20 and $30. A 1-liter mug of beer in the monasteries costs about $8 to $10. Fine sweets and pastry shops with coffee easily exceed $15. And what to do at night? The night in Salzburg is made for culture and for drinking calmly. It is not a destination for crazy parties. Locals gather in old, low-ceiling taverns like the Sternbrau restaurant to drink wheat beers or wear traditional Tyrolean leather and fabric clothes for dinner. Concerts in castles or churches watching a string quartet are the most classic and luxurious evening program you can do. If you liked this detailed itinerary, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and safe travels.